Hey guys, this is your friend ECW fan, and welcome to a movie and comics haul. Yeah, actual comics. I'm going to actually show comics that I got off from Larry and some other places. And a funny mistake I made, and it's rare I do this with comics. I guess where I haven't bought any in a long time, any old back issues, and it blew. It's a rookie mistake, and lucky for me, it wasn't a big expensive mistake. But I'll explain that. Now, there's a new shop that opened up the next town over, and we like games, I do, and movies, and she's really friendly that owns it. This lady had just opened the shop up back in the fall, and I had just seen it, and I was like, man, looks like a cool place. I'm gonna check this out first, because I like to walk into a place first before I bring the A team in. I like to let's see if this shop is really good for movies and games. So, being in that first week, perfect. She's friendly, super nice. I enjoy that. I enjoy the interaction with people that's really good, that makes you want to shop there. And she would laugh and joke. And so, I bought a bunch of movies there. Me and my mom was with me. So, she cut me a really great rate on movies, because I don't think you should pay for used DVDs and Blu-rays a huge lot. That's just me. So she cut me a hell of a rate. So I was like, I'm going to tell the A-team about this. Well, Eddie's on vacation. He couldn't go. CJ had decided, he's like, I'll go. What day you want to go? I was like, Monday. He's like, okay, let's go to it. And before I get to those, before I show off all the movies I got at her place, and I'll go ahead and show off some cool stuff. One of the things I picked up was the Blacklist from Cheap Thrills, and they had this in the clearance aisle. I've never seen this series, but everybody says James Spader's a hell of an actor in this, and I was like, I'm gonna get the first season on Blu-ray for basically clearance, and they put it in there for like $1 or $2. They had some Family Guy, and to me, my view is the first 3 to 4 seasons are the best of the series. The last bunch of seasons have just been downright off. That's just me on Family Guy. I was like, I've tried to watch it. I'm like, man, I think the episode where they killed Brian was okay. I was like, man, if they do a season and bring him back maybe next year, but they didn't really keep it long. The resolution of that was just not good. But yeah, I got the Blacklist. I decided not to get the Family Guys they had there. Now, going to the pawn shop, me and CJ stopped to a pawn shop, and he'll like this one. I looked for the other movies in the series, Eddie, but all he had was the Howling 3, and I'm going to take it to Cheap Thrills and let him clean the disc to make sure it's really good. But the pawn shop really don't charge much for these DVDs. This is the Howling 3, the marsupials. I was looking for the country line dancing one, Eddie. I was one of the Howling 6 or 7. You told me that. Now here's one that CJ's never watched, and I'm shocked he's never watched any of the series. And I used to watch these on cable, and the disc is in perfect shape, but I very rarely have seen these movies in a pawn shop or anywhere. It's the Pink Panther movies, the classic ones with Peter Sellers. I always loved his original Inspector Cousteau, where he would jump out. The guy wouldn't be able to fight on a moment's notice. But yeah, I think this was the return. The Pink Panther Strikes Again. I believe this is the second movie in the whole Pink Panther series. But I was so happy to get this one. Nothing against Steve Martin, but he's not Peter Sellers. Pink Panther. And CJ spotted this one. He said, I think you need to get this one. It's on Blu-ray. And it was, at the pawn shop, it was Independence Day. The 2-movie collection. And the first movie is a classic with Will Smith and I think Jeff Daniels, I believe. Bill Pullman. Yeah, Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. I always like Will Smith punching alien. Welcome to Earth. But I never did see Resurgence. There we go. Resurgence. I've never seen Resurgence. It's just not that movie that I was like, I heard it wasn't that good, so I didn't go watch it. Now let's get to the movies I got at the store over the last couple weeks. And these were pretty cool. And I was wanting to get these. I see them in here, and one of the things I like to play is Lego games. Lego games are my favorite thing to play, and seeing the animated scenes and stuff, it brings a Saturday morning flavor back to me. So I picked this one up. It's the DC Super original movie, Justice League versus Bizarro League. Lego. Yeah. I had to get this. I had to get it because I like Bizarro, and yeah, the Bizarro League. Yeah. Then I picked up the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sequel, Out of the Shadows. I was thinking about that music album back in the 90s. But yeah. This is the one with Casey Jones, and it's a shame this bombed. It's a shame because they had set so much cool stuff up. We was gonna get the Technodrome. We was gonna get, all this cool stuff. If this had been a hit, the third film was gonna have Krang, and it was gonna be cool. I think this is the closest movie that we'll ever get to the cartoon series, the classic one, which I now own, which I've owned since Christmas. Now this is a nice one, and these two go together because they happen years apart. Now, in the first one, it's An Evening with Kevin Smith, and I never did own this one, but I've watched the clips a million times on YouTube about him meeting Prince. And then years later, he did this tour of Australia, I believe, with Evening with Kevin Smith 2, even harder. So she had both of them side by side. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get these. She's cheap. She's not charging that much at all, really. So moving on, I like some anime, and I've picked up some anime movies the last couple months. Nothing major, but I got Bubblegum Crisis, Suicide Mission, Bubblegum Crisis. Oh yeah. Not big into anime, but I picked up Ninja Scroll. I think CJ would know more about anime than me. I think he's got some anime movies he's watched. But yeah, picking up these two were pretty cool. That's the only anime in this, so you don't have to worry about any more for you guys out there that's not into that. Now, wrestling wise, I did find one movie, and it was WrestleMania 23. And this one actually has Vince McMahon losing his hair. And it's hard to believe this was back, man, I think it was 2005, 2006. Yeah, this is the John Cena versus Shawn Michaels, Batista versus Undertaker, the ECW Originals versus the New Breed. And yeah, it's kind of cool. It's almost all these guys are gone now. CM Punk, Mr. Kennedy, Matt Hardy, they're all either retired or in AEW. It's kind of cool. Now, I picked up some movies, and I gave them to my mom. I picked up Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and I spotted that, and I gave it to my mom to watch because I think she's wanting me to find some movies for her and The Three Amigos. Now I'm back. Sorry, something dropped. But this one was kind of cool. I saw this one, and I picked this one up for Christopher Lloyd because I love his reaction on the back. It's Piranha 3D. There's Piranha 3D, and look at Christopher Lloyd's reaction in the back. I swear. Yeah, the cover kind of made it easier too. I'll be admitting it. But I like some good horror stuff, and I've been up in my horror movies. Now here's one that Eddie probably will say, I can't believe you found that there. And CJ spotted it. And it's not the best movie in the world from what I've heard. Everybody says, leave your brain at the door. It's not the best movie. But where else are you going to watch Jesse the Body Ventura and Abraxas, Guardian of the Universe. I've never seen this movie. I've never seen it. This is the first time I've ever seen it in a video store. I didn't even know he made this movie until CJ spotted it. CJ spotted this one out too that she had, and it wouldn't be made today. Trust me, not with what we know. This one has Robert Downey, Jack Black. It's Tropic Thunder, and this one has a line which I will not say, but because you went full, you never go full. It's just bad. The movie is about actors. If you haven't seen Tropic Thunder, a group of actors think they're making a movie in the location in the jungle of a foreign country, and they actually end up taking part as real soldiers. It's got Ben Stiller, but it's pretty cool. Now this one I picked up because it actually flashed back memories for me. It's Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. Remo Williams with Fred Ward. I ain't seen this in years, so that's kind of cool. I picked up this one I told Eddie about a week or two ago. It's Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, the 25th anniversary. Oh yeah, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I had to get that one. I seen that one. I said I gotta grab that one. I picked up the 2-disc version, the Broomstick edition of Army of Darkness, and yep, this is probably one of my favorite Evil Dead films, where he goes into this weird castle, this weird medieval world, and battles there. So it's kind of cool to see Ash there. I picked up this one because it's a director's cut, and it's Blade Runner. I actually have Blade Runner 2. I believe. Don't hold me to it. I've got so many DVD movies the last few years. I don't know. I believe. I picked up the 1933 King Kong, which I showed a friend of mine named Frank. He's a big fan of this. He said, you need to get this movie if you ever find it. And a couple of weeks after we talked about it, I found it in her store. Now here's a funny one. Me and CJ was talking about this. He has this collection, the Canon Collection, which I tried to look for in the one Walmart. They didn't have it. And it has the Electric Boogaloo 2 documentary about Canon films. And Canon was a great studio for just action and TNA. I mean, they were just, the guy was like, we need more sex. That was his favorite thing. We need more sexy. Which was basically he needed to see more women. And Canon had these great action films with Bronson and Chuck Norris, and these were some of them. And I put in Hellbound, I never heard about. CJ has it on his collection, so he showed me. He said, I never seen Hellbound. So here we are in the store, and there is this movie called Hellbound with Chuck Norris. We had never seen it before. So I went ahead and picked it up. Now, here's another one that Eddie and Frank would like. And I was surprised because we talked about this movie. It's Godzilla 2000. Godzilla 2000. Oh yeah, Godzilla is back. I thought that was kind of cool to find out with King Kong. And she's probably got more monster films. I'm going to have to look. And she gave me this one. Because she had a buffer there. If she seen any discs that needed to clean, she would clean them. That's how cool she was. She's like, let me clean that disc for you. Well, she could clean this one because the damage, she saw damage in it. And she said, I'm just going to give it to you. If you get it working, it's a gift for you've been so good. And I was like, okay, thank you. She said, just tell me if you get it working. It's Rain of Fire. Come to kill the dragon. Christian Bale and Matthew McConaughey. I ain't seen this one in about a decade. But Rain of Fire, it inspired like 2 or 3 other films. I believe there's sequels to it. But the first one's pretty damn awesome. Killing the Dragon. And after, a couple days later, I was in Walmart and they had this in clearance. And I was like, for a couple bucks, pick it up, man. It's The Sims 4 for PlayStation 4 in the clearance. Walmart still has their clearance deal. You just have to look inside the cases now. And I saw this. I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up. I ain't played The Sims in years. Last time I played it was on computer. I'll pick it up. Now, you've come for the comics. Let's get to them. Okay, I'm back. I got the comics. And before I start the comics, I did get this for free, and I thought this was a cool cover. If you go in Walmart, they have their free Game Center magazines, and they're free. They've done it for, I think, 4 or 5 years. This is issue 75. You get it free. And this was with the Resident Evil, that new Resident Evil cool cover. I wonder if there's a poster in it. If there's a poster of this character, I'm going to put it on the wall. Yeah. This is the new Resident Evil Village game. And she's in that. She's the new bad character in it. Right, let's get to the comics now. Now, one of the comics I wanted last year, and I never could get around to it because my shop had stopped carrying comics and I had to find a new one, is Negan Lives. And he actually had the second print, the third print, and I went ahead and just picked up the first print that I saw there. It says Negan Lives, baby. And Kirkman did this to basically save comic book stores that had lost new comics during the pandemic. And I wish he would do a Negan series because it leaves off like he's going to go on a mission at the end. And I'm like, come on, man. Why would you, give us this Negan series? Give us his journey, his trip. Because if you followed the original Walking Dead, Negan he's not there. They ain't seen him in years. So this leaves, come on, Kirkman. Please give us the Negan series. You can do it, man. You can give us a comic book series, a spin-off Walking Dead. Maybe he'll do it. We are getting Clementine soon in comics. She is coming back, so that's cool. Now, comic book-wise, and it shocked me he had these in that new store I'm going to. He had the first issues leading up to the new Mrs. Freeze. This is Detective Comics 1014 and Detective Comics 1015, Mr. and Mrs. Freeze. She basically becomes Mrs. Freeze. Nora gets revived by Mr. Freeze and is saved. But like him, she is now her body is nothing but shield. It's weird seeing Mr. Freeze out of his containment suit, but he has now fixed himself and he has fixed her. So it makes him more agile and able to battle Batman. Now, speaking of Batman, let's get to the classics. At a flea market, and this is a mistake I made, and I'll explain it. I found a bunch of back issues, and the guy had marked a buck or two. And I was like, oh, this is cool. So I picked up Detective Comics 431, which I needed, which has a cool cover. That's cool, right? So I was like, hey, there's some cool Flash issues. They got some cool covers. And Flash 219 and Flash 242. Cool covers, right? Well, I actually own these. That was mistake number one. Mistake number two is where I haven't bought back issues cheap in years, or for about a year. Not those old, not old enough like that. I actually didn't look into the books. I just like, well, but I had these. That was my mistake, because when I got home and I noticed I had these two Flash issues, I said, well, I'll take them and trade them to Larry. Store credit. Well, Larry told me when he's looking at the Flash issue, he said, your back cover got clipped out, one of your pieces. I was like, oh, crap. What? Because if I had noticed that, I wouldn't have got them in the first place. And I wouldn't have took them to Larry. But I was like, because they're rare copies, essentially, so I can't trade them, because I'm not going to trade them to a dealer, because there's no way they'll take them, and I'm going to be honest. And I was like, let me check the detective ones. I said, if the detective one's screwed up, I'm like, oh, it's only a couple bucks, but I'm like, oh, man, how can you make a mistake like this? And it happens. Detective is fine. Detective issue is fine. All that's there. I even told Larry, I said, I checked that Detective Comics issue, and it's all there perfect. So, but the Flash issues are, well, it happens. We all screw up. Now, here's something I found at an antique store, and this is pretty cool. From 1981, it's Spider-Man, The Secret Story of Marvel's World Famous Wall Crawler. I've never seen this. And this antique store really didn't have any comics I needed. And there's a humorous story there, which I will not get into with that antique store, but it's pretty cool. I found it. Now, this one I think is the first appearance of a character called Godhead or something. He's a Flash villain. I believe this is his first appearance. It's Flash Rebirth #1. I got this from Larry's shop. Larry's pretty, easy to deal with. There's a couple issues I really wanted to get from him, but I was like, damn. Because I had my plans. Like, I'll use some of that for store credit. I'll get this one issue. I had to decide. Now I can kick myself. Because I hate making mistakes like that, but it happens. And it's just, it's after so long where you haven't looked in the issues at these places, like flea markets especially, and why I did that, I had no clue. So, I got these two Captain America issues off of him. It's Captain America 303. And I love this cover. I'm working on getting a Captain American run in the 300s. I'm going to work on trying to get it all filled in of Mark Ruffalo's run, and his issue should be cheap. There's really nothing there. I think 321 is the only issue that from what was priced to me, that's really went up a little bit. But I've got the first John Walker, the first Cap resigns, he comes back, the first U.S. agent. I've got all the key moments, the first Madcap, the first Flag Smashers. Now here's another one I picked up, and this was Captain America 316. This is kind of cool. Those were two fill-in. Now, he had a couple other issues in that 321, which I wish I could have got, but I was trying. Now, before that, a couple weeks before I come in, I went to Larry's, and I actually picked up two good first appearances off of him. And one of them was the first appearance of Killraven. They call him Killraven. Amazing Adventures number 18. And given the track record that Marvel is putting everything into movies now, or TV shows, don't sleep on Killraven, because I'm pretty sure eventually he will be making it to a Marvel movie or TV show. It'll be funny as soon as like a month later or two after this video, it's like Marvel announces Killraven, Disney Plus series. Now this one is not in the best shape, but I picked it up. Larry was cheap on it. I told him I'd want to upgrade it later, but I wanted to get the whole field in for my Justice League run. It's Justice League of America 46, and it's the first appearance of the Silver Age Sandman, Wesley Dodds. I love my first appearances, and it's been a while since I've done this, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to get this Wesley Dodds, baby. I like that cover with Batman, and there's the Sandman down there, as you can see. But yeah, hey, I had a comic books, and it took me a while, but yeah, and I made some mistakes because it's been like coming out of retirement after so long, but yeah. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I have two reader copies, like I said, of Flash now I can read, and maybe I'll give them to my niece eventually. She can when she gets old enough to see if she likes them. But thank you for watching, and like I said, that's just it. That's the haul. And I am very happy with those movies because, like I said, that lady's nice, and the A-Team, I'm gonna try to film there eventually. So I'm gonna ask her. So we'll see. Thanks for watching, and just if you like the channel, you can like and support it. I never push that because if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Let's say. Thanks.